What's up, guys? Welcome back. Wait, hold up. I gotta change my color on my mic. Okay. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. And yes, I am well aware I missed yesterday's podcast episode. Sorry about that, but we are back. And I do got a couple things to talk about. One is very important, and it's about Tuesday's podcast episode. And one is somebody returning from injury. And also, we got a few things to do, but we'll go over all of that. We're going to say who returned first. William Carlson returned yesterday for Vegas Golden Knights. He's a great third-line depth piece. He's great for Vegas Golden Knights that he returned. He will help them try to push for that divisional seed in the Pacific, which I do believe that they will get pretty easily. So, yeah, hold up. Okay. Anyways, so yeah. Next, we're going to go over the big news this is the reason why I said it's a big podcast coming up on Facebook. On Tuesday, I will be gone. But instead of missing that podcast episode, I'm going to pre-record it. It's going to be something fun. I'm planning on doing the NHL most surprising teams. I'm going to pre-record that podcast on Monday, and I'm going to upload it on Tuesday. It's not going to be live. You're just going to be able to watch it, but it's not going to be live. So it will be uploaded on Tuesday. I will let you guys know on Facebook when it's uploaded. You can watch it then. So it's not going to be live, and we're not going to be viewing any NHL or USHL games that day. But what we're going to do is we're going to view all the NHL games the next day. So we're chilling. We're fine. We're good. So yeah, let's jump into today's podcast episode. Today we got a bunch of things to do. We're going to go over Saturday and Sunday's USHL games. And then we're going to go over USHL standings. And then we're going to go over my blog about reviewing the USHL weekend. It's about a 2-minute read. It says it's about a 2-minute read, and we're going to go over the NHL, and then we're going to go review NHL's Friday and Saturday's NHL games. So we got a bunch to do, and then tomorrow we're going to go over the NHL standings and my NHL blog reviewing the week of the NHL, which I'll be writing tomorrow, just like every Monday. So let's jump straight into reviewing the games. We already reviewed Friday's USHL games on Friday. I was going to do my podcast yesterday, and then I didn't. I had something going on, but it is what it is. You know, everybody misses a day sometimes, you know. One day too far back. I'm good, thank you. Thank you for joining, Doug. Good evening to you too. I'm doing good. Hope you are doing your day so far as well. Sioux Falls Stampede takes on the Des Moines Buccaneers. Des Moines Buccaneers defeated the Waterloo Blackhawks in a Cowboy Cup matchup in Waterloo on Friday. They come back, travel back to Des Moines in the home game. They look to catch fire and maybe get out of the bottom depths of the league. But they fought the Sioux Falls Stampede. They gave a valiant effort. They were up 2-1 going into the third period, but the Stampede scored 5 goals in the third period to take the 6-4 W in Des Moines. Des Moines goes back down to 3-8, and they're still a bottom feeder in the USHL. They are still not looking good. Youngstown Phantoms give a smack into the Sioux City Musketeers. 6-1 in Youngstown. They sweep the Sioux City Musketeers. Sioux City Musketeers coming into the weekend, number 2 in the West. They end the weekend, number 5. So yeah, they fell off really quick, really freaking quick. The shots are 30-11 in favor of the Youngstown Phantoms. Moniscus was the only scorer for the Musketeers. Mikey Burchell, Ruskinsky, Veronin, Sturham, Judine, and Bourne all score for the Phantoms. Phantoms go to 500. They gain some much needed ground in the Eastern Conference. The Sioux City Musketeers go from 2 to number 5 in the West. They're not looking very good right now. The Muskegon Lumberjacks defeat the Chicago Steelers. Steel somehow win a game in Muskegon on Friday, but Muskegon says, "Nuh-uh, we're not doing that again." They come back to Muskegon facing Chicago in Muskegon. They beat them pretty handedly. They were up 3-0 going into the third period and ended up 4-1. Shot to 38-24 in favor of Muskegon. They honestly demolished Chicago. What it should have been on Friday, I'm not gonna lie to you. Mutran is the lone scorer for Chicago compared to Sanderson, Khalid, Nashville twice. Score for Muskegon. Muskegon showing out what they can do. The Stars, after losing 5-3 on Friday, going from 8-1 to 8-2, they won 4-3. In Tri-City, they say, no, we're not losing twice. We're going to show how dominant we are. We beat Tri-City on Saturday. The shots are 26-35 in favor of Tri-City. Tri-City did look like a much better team, but Lincoln proving how good the goaltending is, stealing the game in Tri-City. Madison stays tied for number one in the East as they squeak out a 2-1 victory in Green Bay. The shots are 28-27 in Madison. It was a phenomenal game all the way through. Very even, phenomenal game all the way through. But Madison shows out, showing how much they want to prove they're number one in the East, picking up 2 points any way possible. Fargo, pretty sure they're on like at least a 4-game win streak coming into today. Defeated Omaha Lancers, who go down to a 2-game losing streak after losing to the Fargo Force on Friday. Shots are 27-16 in favor of Omaha. Roan scores 4 times for Fargo, and Shields is the only other goal scorer for Fargo. And then Agita, Skyra, and Ramos score for Omaha. What a game for Ron, by the way. Waterloo looks to get back on the right track after losing at least 3 straight. Yeah, at least 3 straight. They shut out 4-0 shutout victory over Cedar Rapids. Moore gets a shutout. Shots are 31-save shutout. The shots are 31-27 in favor of Cedar Rapids. Waterloo picks up a Cabot Cup matchup as they stay in Waterloo to face the Saints on Tuesday. Speaking of the Saints, they squeak out a victory 3-2 over the Team USA U17, 32-22 in Dubuque. They were winning. They were actually tied 0-0 going to first period. Going to the second period, Dryden Allen gets his first career USHL goal to take the lead for Dubuque, and then just under 6 minutes later, Heilberg gets a breakaway. He scores. Ties the game for Team USA. Tied 1 apiece going to the third period. Bucher, 5:19 in the third period, gives the lead to Team USA. 41 seconds later, Saints show their resilience. Charlie Aaron gets a goal 6 minutes in the third period. With about 2 minutes and 27 seconds left in the third period, Michael Barron. Great play by Konskadinski, gets in front. Barron, tips it in from the slide. It's kind of weird. You would have to watch it. It's on the Saints X page. Probably the Facebook page, too. But at least X page for sure. Barron gets a eventual game-winning goal. His team leading 6th goal of the season. Gets the game winning for Dubuque. Dubuque sweeps the weekend. Waterloo is 1-1 on this weekend, and Waterloo plays Dubuque in a very important, about to be very good game in Waterloo on Tuesday in the Cabot Cup matchup. That is Saturday's game. There was one game on Sunday. Sioux Falls Stampede took on the Omaha Lancers. Omaha Lancers entered this game on a 2-game losing streak, and the Sioux Falls Stampede are pretty hot entering this game. Sioux Falls Stampede proved that by shutting out Omaha 5-0. Shots at 36-18 in favor of Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls dominated them all the way through. Voslov, McNeil, Sutton Jr., Arenas, and Voslov second of the game. Improved Stampede 7-3, fourth in the West. Omaha Lancers go back down to a 3-game losing streak. We'll talk about all the teams here as we go to the standings. Okay, starting with the Eastern Conference, Dubuque is still tied for number 1 in the Eastern Conference. They're still number 1 in the East. I'm pretty sure as long as I've been doing this number 1 in the Eastern Conference, that's maybe the first week I think, but for the past month, they've been at least tied for number 1. They're 8-3 for 16 points, 11 games through, 727 point percentage. They are 8-2 in their last 10. 3-game winning streak for Dubuque. They've been on fire lately. 11 games played also for Madison, but compared to them, they have 7 wins, 2 losses. So they have 1 less win, 1 less loss. But they have 1 more overtime loss and another shootout loss. But they have the same win percentage. They're 6-0-1 in the last 7 games, and They're 6-2, 1-1 in the last 10. Madison's looking really good. They have 43 goals for, 29 goals against. I still think the Butte has a better offense because they've been putting up consistently better numbers. Just Madison scored 16 goals in one weekend versus Chicago. That really boosted their offense on the score sheet. I still think the Butte is more consistent offense. So yeah, Muskegon's number 3. They take a little bit of a drop off to Muskegon, 3-point drop off. They are 5-3, 2-1 for 13 points. They had one game win streak. They won the most recent game. They 5-2, 2-1 in the most recent 10. A 591 save percentage, point percentage. So they definitely a decent step down from the Butte and Madison, but they are still good team. I think they're going to finish around number 3 and number 4 in the East. That are on that range. Number 4, Youngstown Phantoms. They just defeated the Musketeers twice this weekend. Musketeers, who was a top team in the West coming into the weekend. Youngstown steals game number 1 on Friday, and then they dominate game number 2. Both games in Youngstown, they improved the record to 5-5 for 10 points. 2-game win streak. They're 5-5 in the last 10. They only played 10 games. So, I mean, yeah, Youngstown getting much needed ground in the East, going from like a bottom feeder all the way up to number 4. 5, Chicago. They are 5-8 for 10 points. The only reason why they're number 5 because they have 3 more games played than Green Bay and Team USA, and 2 more than Cedar Rapids. So as soon as everybody else gets the same amount of games played, they'll overtake them. I think Chicago's gonna miss the playoff. I originally had them finishing like number 3 in the East, but yeah, they disappointed for sure. They have 52 goals against, which is by far the worst in the league. Their table defense and the goaltending is not really doing no one near as good as I thought. The goaltending is supposed to be one of the best in the league. It's not been very good. Defense also sucked. They're 3-7 in the last 10. Lost the most recent game to Muskegon. Stole game number 1 on Friday in Muskegon, but then kind of just got exposed on Saturday. Number 6, Green Bay. They have 3 games lost in Chicago. That's why they're below them, but they only have 1 less point. They have 4-5-1. For 9 points, they have 4-5-1 in the last 10. They only have 10 games to play. Green Bay would definitely overtake Chicago. I've seen them be really good teams, but I've seen them lose to bad teams. So if Green Bay can become more consistent, they'll definitely overtake Chicago, and they'll probably eventually overtake Youngstown, but Youngstown's looking pretty decent, so I don't know. 7, Cedar Rapids. They have 4-6 with 9 points. Tied for Green Bay, but they have 1 more loss in that extra games they played. They lost. They have 4-5-1 in the last 10 games. Cedar Rapids started the season 2-0, and they just kind of like flunked out since then. They are 7 in the East. 8, Team USA, 3-7 for 6 points. 3-7 in the last 10. They only played 10 games. They're very weird. They're in a 4-game losing streak, though. That's for sure. That's what I know. Yeah, they're not that good. I say that because they play in a bunch of different leagues and stuff. U18 is really dangerous, but they don't usually play a bunch of USHL games. It's usually U17, and U17 is not that good. They're definitely decent though. Number 1, Lincoln. They are 9-2 for 18 points. 8-2 in the last 10. One game, one streak. They won the most recent game. They should not have lost in Tri-City in that first game. They should have beat Tri-City handedly. Tri-City is not that good of a team. We'll get to Tri-City in a minute. But they dropped it. They came out slow. Tri-City looked like they were more hungry for that win. They looked like they cared more. And they came out and they just shocked Lincoln. That must have woke Lincoln up. Because they didn't dominate them by any means on Saturday. But they looked much better on Saturday. And they're like, okay, guys, we can't underestimate this team. Tri-City can beat us. Let's prove to them that we're not gonna lose. Let's act like let's act like they're the Saints. Like act like the best team in the league, like one of the best teams in the league, like the best team in the league. Act like it. They went out there and they beat Tri-City. They got the much needed 2 points to get some momentum back. They're still handedly number 1 in the West. 2 points ahead of the Saints for number 1 in the league, but 3 points ahead of the Forest for number 1 in the West. They're looking really solid. Number 2, Forest. They're 7-3. They are on a 5-game win streak right now. They went from number 6, I think, maybe even number 7 in the West, to number 2 in about a 2-week span, 3-week span maybe. 5-game win streak, 7-2, 0-1 in the last 10. Their goaltender's really proven how good he is, letting up only like 2 goals a game in the past 3 weeks. He's been ridiculous. They've been winning 3-2 literally, I feel like, every game this past 2 weeks. It's been ridiculous. They've been on fire. The goaltender especially has been on fire. The offense has been scoring enough. Force are looking good right now. They're really hot. 3, Waterloo. 6-3-2-1. They were just on like a 3-game losing streak, maybe something like that. Maybe even 4-game losing streak. And then they won their most recent game. They are 1-0-0-1. This is a streak right now. They have 5-2-2-1 in the last 10. 15 points, tied for number 2 in the West. They kind of felt like since Sioux City fell off, they had a really good chance to get number 2 in the West, maybe even getting number 1 in the West. But they just aren't able to pick up the much needed wins. If they picked up some of those wins, especially against Fargo last weekend, they'll definitely be above Fargo, maybe even above Lincoln. They have an extra game played, but they aren't able to win those games, so they stay number 3. Number 4, Sioux Falls. They're 7-3, 14 games played. They have 2 games less played than Waterloo, and they have 1 point behind, so they have a better win percentage. They have a 2-game win streak, and they're 7-3 in the last 10. They only have 10 games played. Sioux Falls, they're looking good. I mean, goaltending's looking pretty good. The offense is looking really good. Like, offense is looking like top 3 in the league right now. With them, the Saints, and Lincoln, I think, are probably the top 3 in the league right now. Just behind them is probably Madison and Waterloo and those guys. But I think they're number 3 right now in the offense. They're just looking really good right now, too. They've been pretty hot lately, beating teams that they should. Musketeers, speaking of teams, beating teams and this should is the opposite. They're not beating teams they should. They should have beat Youngstown twice, at least once, but especially twice. They didn't even beat them once. They barely lost on Friday, and they must have let them just shake them because they got smacked on Saturday to a team they could have easily beat. You know, Musketeers with the goaltending, especially the offense, but the offense has been not very good lately. The offense has been very lackluster lately, and they've been coming out to show. They scored 4 goals on Friday, which is good, but they only scored 1 goal on Saturday. That's a problem. Goaltending not been that good. They let up 5 goals. They let up 11 goals in 2 games this past weekend. That's a mix of some defense and goaltending. Yeah, this team's been pretty bad. Last couple weeks. They're 6-4 and they're in 2-game losing streak. Cause I still think they're gonna finish top 3 in the West, but I don't know because the Force on fire. The Lancers are like really streaky, so you never know. They could go on a crazy win streak again, and be even better. Stampede have been really crazy lately. And the Force have been on a hot streak, and then the Stars, obviously. And the Storm have been able to win games. Like, the West is by far the best conference. The East has been the best conference the past couple years, like, pretty sustainably. This year, the East, I would say 98% of the East, outside of the Saints, I think are pretty okay. Like, the Capitals are pretty decent, the Lumberjacks are pretty decent, but I don't think they're anywhere near the Saints level. I think the Saints are far and away the best team in the East. I think they're going to win it. Maybe I wouldn't say handedly, but I think they're better than all the other teams in the East. Compared to the West, like, nobody's significantly better than any other. Like, the Stars, you can see, are clearly number 1. But any of those teams in the Western Conference could beat the Stars on any given night. You know, like, the Storm, the Storm just proved it. They're number 6, and they just knocked off the Stars. You know, like, the West is so competitive compared to the East. It's kind of like, which is the best bad team, you know? Like, Madison's pretty decent, but they shouldn't be number 2 in the conference. Put them in the West, they're like number 6, you know? Like, same thing as Muskegon. Any other top East teams besides the Saints, like, if you put the Saints in the West, they're probably being number 2, maybe even number 1. You know, like, they're at least in the top 3 in the West. I think they're better than the Force. They proved it, smacking the Force. They beat Waterloo already. They lost to Stampede, but that was because they were really tired. I think they're significantly better. I mean, not significantly better, but I think they're quite a decent amount better than the Stampede. You know, but if they were both teams were fully rested, I think the Saints would beat them. The Saints were not very good during the preseason and to start the season, so the Sioux City game, like, yes, they beat us pretty decently, but goaltending wasn't really that good that game. The whole team was not ready that game. I think we're better than the Sioux City Musketeers, especially as of late. Pretty sure we beat the Storm. No, we didn't face the Storm yet. Wait, did we face this? Yeah, we did. I'm bugging. Yeah, we beat the Storm twice. We beat them in the Fall Classic and 3-2 in the shootout, and we smacked them 5-1 in a home opener. Yeah, we're better than the Storm. We lost to the Lancers 5-0, but they were on a hot streak, and I don't know why we underestimated them, but I think we're better than the Lancers, and we're better than the Bucks. We ought to beat them like 6-0. Okay, we're better than most of those teams in the West. Every team that we face in the West, basically, we're either better than, you beat, and better than. You know, like, I don't know. I feel like we'd be at least number 2, possibly number 1 in the West if we move to the West. Anybody else from the East, if they move to the West, they would be number 6 at max. Madison, they'd be like number 6. I don't think they'd be higher than the Muskies. Muskegon, they would not be higher than the Muskies. They would be number 6. Like, you know, like the difference there. Like, I this is my opinion. The East is a lot worse than the West, and I'm thankful for it, but the East has been a lot better than the West. Last year, they were a lot better than the West. I stand on that. I know, and then they just, like 2 years ago, it was 2. 3, it was 3 years ago, I don't know. 3 years ago, it's pretty close. Not 100% sure because I wasn't really following it that much. I was just a really big Saints fan, not really a USHL fan. That was my first year really started enjoying hockey. So, I don't know. But, yeah. Okay. Yeah, the West is so significantly better than the East this year, and I'm kind of glad for it, I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. So yeah, we gotta go over my blog about my USHL weekly recap that I literally just posted like minutes before I started this podcast. Probably about 20 minutes before I started this podcast, but I planned the time like 20 minutes in advance, which I did today. Like I planned at 8:40 in my time, and I set it out for 9. So like literally like 2 minutes before I planned out the time for this podcast, I got it done. So yeah, it's about a 2-minute read, so we're gonna go over there and do that real quick. Wait, before I start reading this, I'm gonna go over the scoreboard again, just so I'm ready for tomorrow. Actually, there's no games tomorrow, is there? I'm gonna check on my phone real quick because my computer's kind of clunky and like lags. So by the time I check if there's any, oh yeah, there's a game on Tuesday, but is there a game tomorrow? It's a Saints game. I should know this. Nope, there's no game. There's a game on Tuesday. It's Waterloo Blackhawks in Waterloo against the Saints. And then there's a game on Thursday, October 31st, Halloween Day, in Des Moines against Fargo. And then the next game's on the next day in Des Moines again against the Forest. And then Friday and Saturday, you know. Dude, on Friday, I'm so hyped for that game on Friday. The Saints might be pretty tired because they played twice this past weekend. They're going to play on Tuesday, and then they got to go to Lincoln. So that's going to be really freaking tough, dude. I don't know. Maybe we have to go to Lincoln. But we might lose that game. I don't think we will. I think we still beat them. I think we're going to upset the world there. But we're going to be really tight. It's going to be tough. Yeah. But Friday, Lincoln versus Dubuque and Lincoln. Dude, that's going to be... I think that's going to be a Clark Cup final this year. I really do. I think those are definitely the both best teams in the West. My dream team in the Clark Cup final matchup is definitely probably the Saints and the Blackhawks. Because they're both from Iowa. They're like one of our biggest rivals, the Cadbo Cup, and it's close to me, you know. So it would be really cool to see that. And they've always been one of our biggest rivals, especially like these past couple of years when I've really started watching. Yeah, I think that'd be fire. But I think it's going to be Lincoln and Dubuque. They look like the clear cut best teams from each conference. Yeah, I think so. And I think the Saints get it done this year. I do. Trying to be as least biased as possible. What I do, I just think we're the best, but I think we have at least more consistent offense. Our defense is a bit shaky, but when we're on, we're on. If we're off, we're not that best. And I think we got just as good of goaltender as Bruno. He's back-to-back consecutive shutouts. And Shostak is statistically the best goalie in the league so far, and he was statistically the top 2 goalie in the league last year. Probably second. He was literally second best in the league last year. Your third best maybe behind Slukinski and Aiden Wright, I think, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it's gonna be Shostak and Spooner. It's gonna be ridiculous if that happens. What it does, probably the 2 best goaltenders in the USHL. 2 best offenses in the USHL, I would say. And Stars are probably gonna end up having statistically the best defense in the USHL, and I think the Saints defense is definitely pretty dang good too. It's just gonna be a fire matchup, dude. And it was going to be like, I don't know, it's going to be crazy, dude. Both places are going to be wild for that series. So, yeah. So, like 25 minutes talking about the USHL. I didn't get done to my blog yet. That's not a bad thing, though. Not a bad thing at all. Okay, USHL Weekly Recap. Friday. It's Friday, October 25th. The Muskies enter Youngstown, being number 2 in the West, being pretty dominant so far in the season. Youngstown upsets the Muskies to gain 2 points to try and gain some ground in the East, with a 5-4 regulation upset in Youngstown. The Steel enter Muskegon on a losing stint compared to the Jacks being number 3 in the East. The Steel won in Muskegon 5-4 in regulation. The Saints looked dominant in Dubuque with a 3-0 shutout win over Team USA U17. Goalie Jan Spooner collects his second consecutive shutout in a 3-0 win. Cedar Rapids looked to defeat the Caps in Madison, who were tied for number 1 in the East. They took them to a shootout, but eventually fall to the Caps. They stayed tied, number 1 in the East, with Dubuque, who won it on that same night. The Storm beat the Stars, who were 8-1 entering the night. The Storm pulled off a monumental upset in Tri-City, 5-3. Fargo stays hot as they defeat another hot team in the Omaha Lancers, who was on a 4-game winning streak heading into the game. The Force beat the Lancers 3-2 in regulation in Omaha. The Bucks hang on to beat the Hawks, as the Hawks continue the bad streak after losing to the Bucks 4-3 in a shootout in this Capital Cup matchup. And Saturday and Sunday, I completely forgot to read over it. So if there's any mistakes in there, I'm sorry for that. But I don't know. Let's see. Saturday, the Bucks look to gain some footing in Sioux Falls, but they get beat by the Stampede 6-4. The Phantoms whack the Muskies in Youngstown as they sweep the fantastic Muskies. What a weekend from the Phantoms. The Jacks get a split with the Steel as they handle the Steel pretty easily in Muskegon. The Caps win twice this weekend, this time 2-1 in regulation over Green Bay on the road. The Force beat the Lancers again to stay hot, 5-3 in Omaha. The Stars bounce back with the 4-3 win in regulation. The Hawks get back on the right track with the 4-0 shutout in Waterloo over CR in this Capital Cup matchup. The Saints win again. This time it was a lot closer as they stayed tied with the Capitals for number 1 in the East. Sunday, the Lancers fall to the Stampede in the lone game on Sunday. The Lancers are on a 3-game losing streak again. The Stampede win another game as they remain number 4 in the West. It's only a 2-minute read, it said, and I think that's pretty accurate. It's probably about a 2-minute read. Yeah. It was about like the 25-minute mark when I started reading that, and then it's about 27 minutes and 20 seconds in. Hold up, I'm going to mute my mic so I can adjust my chair real quick. Hold up, guys. Okay, I'm back. I just adjust my chair because it's a very uncomfortable situation there. Anyways, so yeah, that's kind of like me and enough of me talking about the USHL. Actually, no, yeah, I do want to talk about this. Since we're here talking about the USHL, and this is kind of a USHL day, like not officially, but I make my blog review in the USHL week. I go over the USHL standings. It's kind of like a USHL day. So I might have to just talk about the USHL a little bit more. I'll talk about the NHL a lot tomorrow because Monday is usually my NHL day because I read about the blog and about the NHL on Monday and go over the standings on Monday about the NHL. So, yeah, we'll talk about the NHL tomorrow because it's kind of like the NHL day on this podcast, but we never usually officially said that. And Sunday, the USHL day on the podcast, we also never kind of officially came out and said that, but it kind of is, like, you know. But, yeah. So, what are some possible, like, just overall thoughts coming into the playoffs, like, just out of both conferences? We'll start with the East. Saints, I feel like the Saints are definitely the clear-cut number 1 in the East. I know they're tied with Madison, but I personally feel trying to be as least biased as possible here, I know. But the Saints are much better than the Capitals, I think. Like, I think they might be, like, exaggerating a bit, but the offense is a lot more consistent. I know Madison technically has more goals. That's because they slaughtered the Chicago Steel and scored 16 goals in one weekend, which is impressive in itself, but it's against the Chicago Steel, you know, and that really boosts the goal count. So, I mean, they only have, like, 3 more goals than the Saints, even including that 16-goal weekend, because they won 10 10-3, I think 10-2, something like that, and then they scored 6 the next day. So yeah, I just think the Saints have a lot more consistent offense, which is true. If you look at both of the teams' games overall, the Saints consistently score at least probably like I would say a little over, I would say around 4 goals a game if you calculate all the games, how the goals we scored, and then like divided by how many games we played or whatever, something like that. You would get probably around 4, maybe a little bit under 4, or a little bit over 4. I don't know, but yeah, I just think in the defense of the Saints could be off, but it's usually I would say around 8 out of 10 times it's really good. 2 out of 10 times it's kind of like a little shaky, you need to lock down. But 8 out of 10 times the defense is on. Spooner is going to be one of, if not the best goalies in the USHL. He was like a top 7, I think, goalie in the entire Western Hockey, CHL, Canadian Hockey League, which has like some of the best players in the world. Like it had Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, all those guys in that league. There's so many first round, second round, third round prospects, and he's like at least a top 10 goalie in that league. That's ridiculous, and he's already got consecutive shutouts. Like what more does he need to prove to you? You can search up Jan Spooner on YouTube. In Jan for his first name, Jan, and then Spunar, last name Spooner. And just look at some of his highlights and some of the videos talking about him and how crazy he was. He's already got 2 consecutive shutouts, and so he's gonna be one of the best. It's gonna be between him and Jan Trocheck, which we'll get to the start in a minute. But yeah, and I just think that, and between him, the defense is on 8 out of 10 times. The offense is probably one of, if not the most consistent and just overall great offense in the entire league. We have some of the best depth in the league, offensively and defensively. And Spooner is going to be one of, if not the best goalies in the USHL. Between him and Trocheck and Bierman, he's going to be one of the best backups in the league as well. So, I mean, I don't really see a flaw in this team. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't. I mean, coaching staff is good. I mean, they definitely have the moments. I've been really mad at the head coach before, but I've also seen him have really good moments. So we're going to wait a little bit more than just 11 games into the season to see how he really is as a coach. He's had his bad moments. He's had his good moments. We'll have to see. But especially, we haven't even seen Cole Spicer yet. Cole Spicer's got 170 points a couple years ago in his league, and he's played with Minnesota Gophers 2 years. He's going to be ridiculous. He can play either first or second line center. That's just going to add a ridiculous amount of depth to our team. Like, our team's ridiculous, dude. We haven't even seen Cole Spicer, and Giuliani's been out the past couple of days. Like, dude. The past couple of games, dude, this team's nasty. It's filthy. I could go all day about rattle off how good this team is, dude. Giuliani, Spicer's been out, and we see how dominant we are already, dude. It's ridiculous. Yep. Madison, I just don't see it in Madison. I've already kind of talked about Madison. The offense definitely looks a lot better than it actually is. The stats are definitely inflated because of the 16-goal weekend, which is impressive, like I already said, but I don't feel like it's as good as it actually shows. The defense, definitely, it's good. It's great. It's good and all, but I don't think it's that good. And goaltending, I don't know much about the goaltender. But I think Madison is good. I think the clear-cut number 2, at least number 3 in the East, but probably number 2 in the East. I think they're got a decent amount better than Muskegon. But yeah, I think they'll be number 2, but I don't think they're going to be nowhere near as good as the Saints. Muskegon, their goaltender is ridiculous. He's the whole reason why they got to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Between him, Matt Very Good, and Sasha Braver, definitely the 3 main reasons why they got to the Eastern Conference last year. We don't talk about what happened. Actually, I do want to talk about what happened there, because they got smacked and swept by the Saints. But anyways, so yeah, that's... The goaltender is ridiculous. Get that out of the way. The defense is definitely pretty decent, but the offense is what concerns me. They can score, but they can also, not score a lot, So it really depends on the day. They're definitely inconsistent. So, yeah, we're going to have to see what they do. Number 4, I believe it's Green Bay. Yeah. Goaltender Moffitt's great. Defense is good. Offense is okay. And they're very inconsistent. I've seen them beat good teams. They kept it really close and competitive with Madison, which I think Madison's a clear-cut number 2 in the East. Keeping it close as number 2 in the East, almost beating them, barely losing to them, is a sign that they could get number 3. I think they will end up number 3 in the East. I think they are slightly better than the Muskegon Lumberjacks overall. So I think they're going to get number 3 in the East, but I don't know. I think Muskegon's going to fall to number 4 eventually. 5, Chicago, I think they're falling down. Yeah. They played like 2 or 3 more games than number 6 in the East. Yeah. Nope, number 4 is Youngstown. Number 4 is Youngstown. I just remembered. Number 4 is Youngstown. Sorry, Green Bay. Green Bay's number 6. I still think they're better than Muskegon. But Youngstown, I think Youngstown's falling down. Muskies had a terrible weekend, you know. They had to travel really far to Youngstown. I'm not gonna lie, they traveled really far to Youngstown. That might not help, but there's no excuses. Yeah, I think the Muskies are fine. They beat the Muskies on a bad weekend. I still think that's very impressive, though. They're very impressive. I think they're just gonna fall down to at least number 5. I think they're gonna beat out Chicago. I think Chicago's gonna get like number 6 or 7. I think they're gonna get number 6 in the East. Youngstown's getting number 5. Green Bay's getting Muskegon's getting 4. Green Bay's getting 5. 3. Yeah, something like that. I do think they're gonna fall down. The goaltending's been a surprise. I'll say that. Defense has been good. They're by far the most undisciplined team in the league, and that's gonna kill them, especially come playoff time. Offense is pretty good too. So yeah, I think they're pretty good. I think they're number 5 in the East. The actual number 5 right now, Chicago. They're not like Chicago. They let up like 35 plus shots on goal a game. Bad. Goaltending's been ridiculously bad especially compared to what they're supposed to be like a top 3 goaltending team in the league. And bad, dude. And the defense sucks so bad. Offense is pretty decent. Defense sucks. Goaltending's been terrible especially compared to what they were expected to do. So yeah, Chicago's now very good. I think they'll finish number 6, squeaking in the playoffs, but I could see Cedar Rapids beating them out for it too. Number 6, Green Bay. I've already talked about them, so we're not going to talk about them. Number 7, Cedar Rapids. I could see them beating Chicago out for that number 6 seed. Goaltending Guyman, I don't really trust him more than Cloutier. Cloutier is supposed to be one of the best goalies in the league this season, and also Jack Parsons was too. But he's not, dude. I don't know. He's just not. And it's ridiculous because this team's supposed to finish top 3 in the East, and the goaltending's been bad. Defense has been trash. So, yeah, I don't know. I think Cedar Rapids might beat them out, but we'll have to see. Cedar Rapids started 2-0. Guyman's looking good. Defense looking pretty decent. Offense is now looking very good. But, yeah. 8, definitely the worst team in the East. Team USA, specifically the U17, because U18 doesn't really play that much in the USHL. Yeah, they're good. They're really fun. They're very exciting. They're fast-paced. They're fun to watch, but they're just not picking up the wins. They're not. So yeah, that's kind of the East, kind of how I'm thinking for the playoffs and overall my thoughts on the team. So let's go over the West, and then we're gonna go over the NHL Friday and Saturday, and Friday and Saturday. 2 days ago, I was supposed to review yesterday, and then what I'm gonna review today. Yes, that makes sense. Okay, so West, Lincoln Sharks. I think they're definitely the best in the West. Okay, I think they're gonna go to the Cup final with the Saints. The defense, probably the best in the league. Probably the best in the league, unbiased. You know, goaltender, best in the league statistically. He's gonna be one of, if not the best goaltender in the league between him and Spudon. Offense, second best in the league, I think, just behind Saints. Just behind the Saints, I'm telling you, just behind the Saints. And so yeah, I think the teams reminds me. It's like Fargo Force, but the Fargo Force are on like steroids. You know, like they're like a slight step down from Fargo last year. It's just Fargo Force last year if they didn't score 4 goals a game. You know what I'm saying? This is a Fargo Force last year, literally, if they scored like 3 goals a game compared to 4. You know, it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you think about it, that's a lot more goals like every game throughout 62 games. You know, if you were there, you would know how good Fargo was last year. They won the Clark Cup for a reason, trust me. Yeah, they're like a slight step down from last year's Fargo, but they remind me a lot of them. Best defense in the league, arguably best goaltender in the league. Sukinski really wasn't arguable last year, but show stack between him and Trudeau, I'm telling you, dude. You'll see. And then, yeah, and offense is definitely a step down from Fargo, and overall star power, definitely a step down from Fargo. But outside of the star power and offense, reminds me a lot of Fargo last year, but not as good, not as good. Number 2 was Fargo 4, speaking of Fargo. Definitely nowhere near as good as last year. I mean, that's pretty obvious. I just want to say that's pretty obvious. Yeah, that's really obvious. Goaltender is really good though. He only let like 2 goals every game. They literally won like 3-2 every game for the past like 4 or 5 games. I think they beat Waterloo twice last weekend, 3-2. They beat Omaha 3-2 this past weekend at least once. I don't know. It's ridiculous. I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they beat them on Saturday 5-3. Oh my god, they actually scored more than 3 goals. That's gonna be the problem with the offense. If they can't score more than 3 goals, besides one off game, that's gonna be a problem. Especially come playoff time, dude. That's gonna be a problem. But maybe they can pick it up. The defense has been a nice surprise. Not really a nice surprise, but a decent surprise, not gonna lie. Goaltender is ridiculous. Specifically, Landek. He's been ridiculous, dude. Look at his stats. He's ridiculous. So, yeah. He's gonna kind of carry this team. But, yeah, they're number 2 right now. They're really hot. Really hot. Number 3, Blackhawks. They have the most games played. You're at least tied. Pretty sure they're tied with Chicago for the most games played in the league right now. They've been like a 3-game losing streak coming into Saturday. They did win on Saturday against Cedar Rapids. Cedar Rapids is not that good. They shut out Cedar Rapids, which is impressive for more. More than looking good as a goaltender. So yeah, I mean, yeah, they're looking pretty decent. The offense is looking good. Defense is looking good. More is looking good. So yeah, we'll see if their team can stay consistent though. The team needs to stay consistent. Is their biggest problem for sure. Is consistency. For Sioux Falls St. Pete, they're looking really good. They're 7-3 right now. They just have, I'm pretty sure like they're tied with Team USA. I'm pretty sure one or two other teams for the least amount of games in the league. If they had the same amount of games as Waterloo, they'd be ahead of them. Yeah, the goaltender is looking really good. The defense is looking good. The offense is looking good. All around, they're looking like a top 3 team in the West, and that's saying something on how good the West is. For sure. Number 5, Sioux City. They entered the weekend number 2. No, number 5, because they lost twice to Youngstown. Both very winnable games, especially Friday was a very, very winnable game, but they were unable to win that game. And then it came a Saturday, and they just got absolutely smacked. Like, they got an absolute spanking on Saturday. So, we're going to have to see if they can come back this upcoming weekend. I'm not 100% sure they play off the top of my head, but yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. So yeah. Let's see what they do. So, yeah. Sure, I'm gonna make my predictions on Facebook real quick for the NHL game tomorrow. Just so it's out of the way because I keep forgetting. So I just like that, you know what I'm saying? You get it. Bro, how much games are there tomorrow? There's 5, 7, there's 8 games tomorrow. Nice. Bro, that Jets and the Maple Leaf game is about to be so flippin' fire, dog. My goodness, bro. Okay, hold up. Colorado, defeat Chicago. Ooh, Vancouver, Carolina. Carolina. I think Carolina's definitely looking better than Vancouver to start the season. I want to say Vancouver, but I think Carolina's looking better. Flames of the Knights, I think Knights. I think the Flames are definitely on a downhill spiral right now. I think they're going to continue that. Panthers, I think, is going to beat the Sabres this time. I think they're going to get their revenge from last time. I won't even say I want the Sabres to win, but I'll talk about the Sabres. I got some stuff to say about the Sabres. The Oilers are going to beat the Blue Jackets. They just beat the Red Wings today, so I think they're going to beat the Jackets tomorrow. Bro, the Predators are I'm going to say the Predators. They've been hot lately. I think I'm going to say the Predators, but I don't know. I have this weird feeling that Tampa's going to win, but I'm going to go with my heart. I want Nashville to win this game, kind of. Jets or the Maple Leafs. God dang it. Jets got to lose sometime, you know? Jets got to lose sometime. It's in Winnipeg. Maple Leafs got to win sometime, too. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going with Toronto. I don't know why. It makes me seem like a Toronto fan with all the hot takes I got with Toronto, but I got my reasonings. But, yep, got that feeling, you know? And then I got the hockey club beating the Sharks. Obviously, whoever played the Sharks is a freebie. Just kidding. Just kidding. Don't take that with a grain of salt. It's a joke. Not a single NHL game ever a freebie. Was you playing the Sharks? Anyways, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna post that. Let me post that real quick. Okay, I posted on my Intermission Podcast blog Facebook post. You can look at it. Okay, now I got that out of the way. Now let's look. Should we look over the NHL games? I think we should. Definitely. Wait, did I think it does my USHL talk thing? I don't think I did. Who was I on? Talk about Lincoln. Okay, I was on Sioux City, I think. Tri-City. Dude, they beat really good teams. They beat Cedar Rapids when they were 2-0. They just beat Lincoln. Yes, they lost them the next day, but they beat them worse than they got beat the next day. That makes any sense. Tri-City's beating really good teams. They're losing the bad teams. They're very inconsistent. I'll say that. They're really inconsistent. Goaltender's looking decent. Offense is looking pretty decent. Defense looking pretty decent. They're all around. I would say they're an okay team. They're okay all around. They're not exceptional at anything, but they are definitely decent at everything. You know? Yeah, I'll say that. Number 7, I believe. Okay, let me think. Omaha, I think. Omaha, yes, Omaha. They're very streaky. They went on like a 4-game losing streak, then they went a 4-game winning streak, and they're currently going in the next weekend on a 3-game losing streak. They just don't know how to like not go on a streak. I don't know. It's one of those. There's always one team in the USHL and NHL, just any hockey league ever, basically. That's just super streaky. Like, please pull together a pair of wins. You know, like it shouldn't be this hard. It shouldn't be this hard to not lose 4 games in a row or win 4 games in a row. It should not be this hard to win and lose. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't get it. I don't know. They're either really nasty because I've seen it firsthand that they're really freaking good against the Saints, but they also play really bad against other teams, so we'll have to see what type of Omaha Lancers we get throughout the rest of the season. Number 8, the Buccaneers. Buccaneers are just really bad. Goaltender is pretty bad. Defense is like worse in the league, type bad. Actually, I don't know. Chicago's up there. And offense sucks too. Yeah, they just kind of suck. You know, like if you face the Bucs, you'd be like, okay, they're literally the equivalent of the NHL Sharks. Like, okay, like I don't know how the Waterloo Blackhawks lost to them. Like, aren't you guys supposed to be good? Aren't you guys supposed to be the number 3 in the West? And you just lost to the worst team in the league. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. In Waterloo, may I add. But I don't know. Okay, 47 minutes of USHL yap. Well, we gotta talk about the Friday and Saturday. NHL game. Let's do it. Friday. Let's start yapping about the NHL now for another 30 minutes. I'm kidding. It's not going to take 30 minutes. I don't want it to take 30 minutes. I'm trying to do something before I got to go back. It's tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so Senators take on the Knights in Vegas. The shots are 39-28 in favor of Ottawa. Adam Gaudette opens the scoring for Ottawa. Assisted by Reinhart. Not Sam Reinhart. And Bernard Docker, 2:40 in the first period. And Claude Giroux added on to that score by Nick Jensen and Drake Batherson, 12:15 in the first period. Nick Waugh brings it back within 1. Oops, did not mean to skip. Assisted by Tina Pearson and Petringolo, 17:23 into the first period. And then Nick Hague, first goal of the season, assisted by Holt, 17:44 in the first period. 18:34 in the first period. Batherson gets the second of the night, 5th of the season, unassisted. So 3-2, Senators lead in first period. Senators are like, dang, we can't get a stop. And then Barbashev, 6th goal of the season already. This is by Petringolo and Heffernan, 6:40 in second period. They keep crawling back, you know. Adam Gaudette said, second goal of the night and the season on the power play. This is by Claude Giroux and Tim Stuzel, 17:44 in second period. Adam Gaudette said, we're going to take this lead back. And then Thomas Hurdle, 4th goal of the season on the power play. This is by Mark Stone, Jack Eichel. 16:49 in third period said, we're not going down without a fight. Keegan Colasar, that's clawing, not able to get a lead. Keegan Colasar, assisted by Pearson Petringolo, finally gives the Knights a lead. And then there's an empty net goal, assisted by Barbashev, 2nd of the night, 7th of the season by Barbashev, assisted by Eichel, Mark Stone, 18:14 into the third period. Yeah. So the Knights said we're not losing. No, we're not doing it. We're not losing to a game that we should win. The Senators really should have won this game too. Both teams should have won this game, for real. But yeah. Next game, Islanders and the Devils. Brock Nelson opens the scoring by Pelech and Palmieri, 1:23 in the first period. Hischier ties the game, 8th goal of the season. I'm pretty sure that's his league he's tied for the most goals in the NHL. It's ridiculous. It's by Jasper Bratt and Dylan, 11:36 in the first period. Andersley retakes the Islanders' lead. This is by Dobson and Pegu, 14:03 in the first period. 5:31 in the second period. Curtis was argued the first of the season. This is by Paul Carter, Segan Holler. 5:31 in the second period. Paul Mary retakes the lead. 11:28 in the second period. This is by Romanoff and Brock Nelson. Jasper Bratt with 1 minute and 29 seconds left in the game, unassisted, forces overtime. All that clawing just for Bo Horvat to ice the game. This is by Barzell and Polak, 109 in the overtime. Devils lose the game as the Islanders steal one in New Jersey. Islanders making the playoffs looking pretty decent. I mean, the Capitals, we got to talk about the Capitals real quick. I know we got a game to talk about. I'm pretty sure they play again on Saturday. On here, but I don't remember what they play on Saturday. Anyways, the Capitals are like 5-0. We're 5-1 right now. We're 6-1. If I think they're 5-1, are they gonna make the playoffs again? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I still think the Sabres are gonna make it, and the Islanders gonna make it. I think the Islanders might make it, but I think the Capitals might make it too. I also think the Senators and the Lightning might make it. I don't know. I think I'm not gonna make any predictions. I might start talking about it a little bit more tomorrow. But until you get more of a sample size, I can't really say much. Predators and the Blackhawks. Craig Smith opens the scoring for the Blackhawks by Reichel and Allen, 2:55 in the first period. Connor Bedard second of the season. This is by Vlasic and Connor Murphy. 5:14 second period. At this point, we're like, Predators are fumbling again. They're losing to a team that they should win. As a Blackhawks fan, I'm like, you know what? I'll take this. As a Predators fan, you would be like, come on, guys. Lock in. They should not be losing this game. Forsberg said, I'm not going to let you guys go down without a fight. He scored third goal of the season. This is by Nyquist and Carrier, 13:41 in the second period. Nyquist said, you know what, I'll join in the scoring. Short-handed goals by Carrier and Craig Smith. 16:59 second period, ties the game. Brady Shea on the power play, second of the season, second of the Predator. This is by Tommy Novak against Elisa, 13:07 third period. Nashville should never have been down in this game, but they had to claw themselves down out of a hole because they don't know how to take a lead, come back, and win this game. Charles makes 27 saves on 29 shots. And yeah, Predators somehow win a game that they should have won a lot better. A lot more convincingly. Should not have been that close. Draisaitl opens the scoring, fourth goal of the season. This is by Arvidsson and Bouchard, 13 minutes in the second period. Bouchard, speaking of Bouchard, second goal of the season is by Arvidsson Podkolzin, 13:35 in the second period. Nugent Hopkins, 16 seconds in the third period, scores the goals. This is by Hyman and Ekholm. 60 seconds in the third period. And the Ekholm power play goals. This is by Arvidsson, 7 minutes in the third period. Oilers outshot the Penguins 50-27. Bloomquist made 46 shots on 46 saves on 50 shots in goal. 27 saves shut out by Stuart Skinner. This is this team that I predicted to win the Stanley Cup. Okay, this is the Oilers that I'm not an Oilers fan, but Oilers fans want to see. A team that puts up 50 shots a goal, which is ridiculous. A team that can score more than 2 goals a game. They put up 4. They got 50 shots in goal. They locked down defensively, only allowed up 27 shots in goal, which is a good game. Stuart Skinner that put up a 27 save shutout. This is an all-around Edmonton team, and that is the type of Edmonton Oilers team that I had winning the Stanley Cup. And I still do. I still think they're going to win. So, yeah, we'll have to see if they can carry that all the way through. But those are Friday slate of games. There's only 4 games on Friday. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday are always NHL days usually. Saturday usually being the biggest, and then Tuesday and Thursday usually bigger than each other depending on the week. I don't know. But Friday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Sunday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday are usually the lone ones out. They usually don't get much games. They usually only get like 4 games. Let's see here. Okay. Saturday was fun, dude. Saturday was a fun night of hockey, Got a little bit of everything, going on. You got a high-scoring action. You got low-scoring action. You got blowouts. You got really close overtime games. You got it all. You really got it all. Sabres, my Stanley Cup champions. Now my Stanley Cup champions. Take that with a grain of salt. It was a joke. But I was the only one that took the Sabres to make the playoffs, basically. Like, no one else did. And they're going on a bit of a streak. I wouldn't even say that. But they're winning, okay? They beat the Red Wings 5-3 in Buffalo. They outshot them 39-25. Zucker opens the scoring. Bar down on the power play. First goal of the season. This is by Tage Thompson. Down lead 4-4 in the first period. Speaking of Tage Thompson, His 6th goal of the season. This is by Berturka and Dowling. 12 minutes in the first period. The Brink is not said we're not going down without a fight. He gets his 4th goal of the season. This is by Sider and Raymond. 14:43 in the first period. Tate Thompson, 2nd of the night, 7th of the season. This is by Dowling. 3:20 in the second period. Restores the multi-goal lead for the Sabres. Michael Rasmussen, 2nd of the season, trims it back down to a 1-goal deficit for the Red Wings. 3:51 in the second period. This is by Mo Sider and Simon Edvinsson. Speaking of Edvinsson, he's been pretty good defensively to try to help the Red Wings defense. Raymond ties it up for the Red Wings. First time the Red Wings have tied the game, besides obviously 0-0. Short-handed goal, his first of the season, unassisted, 11:02 in the second period. Bowen Byram restores the Sabres lead, 15:54 in the second period, by Owen Power and Dylan Cousins. Empty net goal by Jack Quinn, unassisted, 19:12 in the third period. Sabres picking up a win against another top Eastern Conference wild card contender. That might come clutch down the road. You never know. Wild and the Flyers. I'm pretty sure this is the first game of the night. If not, like the second game of the night. It was one of the very first games of the night. Yeah, we'll just say there was specifically no goaltending in this game. Gustafsson said, you know what? I've had a great start to the season. I don't want to stop a puck today. I just don't want to. I'm just going to start. And you know what? I'm just going to sit here. I'm just going to let pucks go by me. Because, that's what I'm Swiss cheese. And I have holes in me. And I clearly can't stop a puck for my life. So, that's what he did. He did just that. Sean Couturier opened to scoring his first goal of the season. This is by Ristolainen and Travis Konecny. 1:18 in the first period. Not a very good start for the Wild, who's been on a wagon to start the season. Nick Seeler, first goal of the season, is by Konecny and Matt Michikov. 3:51 in the first period. Faber, first goal of the season. First goal after getting that big extension. This is by Kirill Kaprizov and Harrison Ek. 14:54 into the second period. Wait, god dang it. Foligno, first goal of the season. This is by Chisholm. 15:27 second period against the Wild tie game. Matt Michikov, 4th goal of the season. First home goal for Matt Michikov. This is by Sean Couturier and Owen Tippett. 18:16 second period. Harrison Ek ties the game again for the Minnesota Wild. On the power play, this is by Kirill Kaprizov and Matt Boldy. 4 seconds left in the second period. Marcus Foligno, second goal of the season, second goal of the night. By Berkshire and Brodin gives the Wild their first lead of the game. 2:18 is third period. Konecny on the power play is by Frost and Tippett. 4:55 in the third period. Couturier's second goal of the night and the season. This is by Konecny and Sealer. 8:26 into the third period. Restores the Flyers lead. Jake Middleton ties it right back up for the Flyers. Unassisted. For the Wild, 13:28 in the third period. Couturier. Empty net goal. Wait, I skipped one. I was going to say, yeah, that'll make any sense. Rasmus Ristolainen, first goal of the season, 17:36 in the third period. Eventual game-winning goal is by Sean Couturier and Travis Konecny. And then Sean Couturier, a hat-trick goal. Empty net. This is by Kate to sign him with 1 minute remaining in the game. Sean Couturier gets a hat-trick and 5 points to single-handedly, basically, beat the Wild. What a game for the Flyers offense. My goodness. And Gustafsson took a break, I guess. Emerson? I'm not letting you off the hook neither. He let up 5 goals and 26 shots. Now letting him off the hook. Both goalies decided to take a break. You know what they said? Well, I'm going to be here physically, but mentally, I'm just going to go to a different planet. I'm just going to, not stop puck. I'm just going to I'm just going to sit here. That's what they did. Next game, Hockey Club vs. Kings. Hockey Club looked to finally pick up a win, which they haven't been able to do lately. And the Kings versus the Kings. Blaine Clark opens the scoring, first goal of the season. On the power play, this is by Kevin Fiala, 7:51 in the second period. Joel Edmondson, first goal of the season. This is by Kopitar Byfield, 13:10 in the second period. Clayton Keller brings it back within one. This is by Mikhail Sergachev and Nick Schmaltz, 15:55 in the second period. Edmondson, second of the season, second of the night. This is by Kempe Clark, 109 in the third period. Logan Coley brings it back within one. First goal of the season is by Castellani and Gunther. 9:47 into the third period. The hockey club's not really very good. I'm telling you, that loss to Sean Jersey and John Marino hurts them tremendously, dude. I don't know, but that's tough, bro. Defense, I know the defense didn't even play bad. They only got 23 shots at goal, but offensively, even that hurts. It's all around that hurts. It's gonna come back to bite them. Good old-fashioned rivalry. Boston versus the Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs never can beat Boston. Don't ask me why. I don't know. And compared to Boston, he just always decides to smack the Leafs for some reason. So yeah, the Knights gets the Maple Leafs on the board first. Fourth goal of the season is by Matthews and Marner. 35 seconds in the second period. Pasternak said, nobody else wants to score so far. I'm gonna score. On the power play, this is by Marchand and Zaka. 2:57 in the second period. Riley gives the lead back to Toronto. This is by Mitch Marner and Tanev. 7:44 in the second period. Brazeau ties the game right back up for Boston. This is by Frederick and Porteous. 12:38 in the second period. Less than a minute later, Castle, like third goal of the season. This is by Beecher and Kopke. Gives the Boston a lead. Matthews. Tavares over the Marner. Beautiful pass in front as Matthews tips it in. 18:43 left in the third period. Forces overtime. Marchand gets goes off Pasternak, and he gets popped on the rebound. 2:26 in the overtime. Bruins said, you know what? We're never losing to the Leafs again. We're never losing to the Leafs again. They said, screw the Leafs. We're never losing to the Leafs again. And I think this is going to be a playoff series. And if the Maple Leafs actually do make it to the Stanley Cup, yeah, they're going to have to beat Boston. And clearly they just don't want to do that. They don't. They just said, no, absolutely not. I do not feel like it, and I'm not going to. So that's basically what happened. Canadiens and the Blues, I feel like this is like the least interesting matchup. Like, it was a good match, don't get me wrong, but it definitely was like one of the least interesting matchups. That's like one of the matchups that I did not care about. Both teams are, I will say the Blues are like number 3 in the Central, number 4 in the Central, which they're doing good, but the Canadiens I do not see at all as threats to a wild card spot, especially without Line. So yeah, I don't know. Jake Evans opened the scoring. This is by Amir and Savard. 8:34 in the first period. And then Kirby Dach, first goal of the season. Hopefully he stays healthy. This is by Nick Suzuki and Mike Matheson. 1:12 in the second period. Pareko is the first goal of the game for the Blues. Brings it back within one. This is by Matthew Joseph. And Suter, 1:33 in the second period. Jake Neighbors ties it up less than 3 minutes later. This is by Brendan Stein and Shen. Ties the game. And then Alex Newhook gets the eventual game-winning goal in the power play. This is by Kirby Dach and Mike Matheson. 14:04 in the second period. And the Canadiens never looked back. Goal Caulfield, if you will. So by Nick Suzuki and Lane Hudson. Lane Hudson, though, got 5 assists on the season already. He's looking like a strong counter candidate. 5:19 in the third period. Cole Caulfield just having fun. You can see after that goal, he had a little stick the tongue out, Sally, He had a little bit of fun out there. He has 7 goals already. He's off to a hot start. He's definitely on pace to get 40 goals. I still think he was. I thought that coming into the season, but I never said that publicly. I should have, because that's a hot take for some. I should have said that publicly. But it is what it is. I still think he's going to get that. Maybe even more. I don't know. See if he continues it. And then empty net goal by Joel Amira. Empty net is by Dvorak and Evans. 16:49 in the third period. Put the coffin over the Blues, I'm not 100% sure who started for the Canadiens, but whoever did made 29 stops on 31 shots. Good for them. Capitals and Lightning, 2 top wildcard contenders. Like, these are teams that are like, they might make it, dude. Especially the Capitals at their start. I still think it might be the Sabres and the Islanders still. I don't know. Let me look at the standings real quick on my phone. Let me look. I'm going to go over the wildcard race for the East, and it might get my opinion a little bit better, because I don't even know off the top of my head right now exactly what the race is. Capitals are number 1 in the Leafs. I think the Leafs will end up getting number 3 in the Atlantic. I'm not going to talk about the Sabres are number 3 in the Atlantic. Like, I'm not saying they're going to stay there. I still think the Leafs and the Bruins are going to overtake the Lightning and the Sabres. But I'm just saying, the Lightning are number 2 in the Atlantic right now. Boston Bruins aren't even in the playoffs. They don't want to win a game either. Red Wings are right in it. Canadians. Islanders are already down at 7. Yeah, that's looking rough. But they're literally 1 point behind the wild card spot. So, I'm just saying, it's anybody's ball game. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it's still going to be the Islanders and the Sabres. The Rangers might win the Metro, though. They're probably going to win the Metro. I had the Devils winning the Metro. But the Devils have 4 more games played. And they have 1 more point. Rangers are looking a lot better. I'm not going to lie to you. So the Devils might now win the Metro. They might still. They might go on a run, But I think, okay, so we're going to go over the Atlantic. Panthers are going to win. I think the Lightning are going to fall all the way out of a playoff eventually. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I still think they're going to fall out. I think It's a lot of bias because it's how I picked originally how the season's going to go, so I'm going to stick with it, I think the Lightning are somehow going to follow the playoffs. They're so early in the season, it's really not that bad because they're literally 2 points behind, you're 2 points ahead of being completely out of the wild card race right now. Not being out of the wild card race, but not technically being in a wild card spot as it stands. So, yeah, that, I think they're going to fall out. I think the Sabres are going to go down to number 1 wild card. And then I think the Bruins are going to move up to number 3 in the Atlantic. And the Maple Leafs are going to move out of number 2 of the wild card and move up to number 2 in the Atlantic. So I think it's going to be the Panthers, and then the Leafs, and then the Bruins. Exactly how I predicted it eventually. Metro, I think it's going to be the Rangers and the Devils. I originally thought it was going to be the Devils. I still definitely could be the Devils. I wouldn't be that surprised. But the Rangers are definitely looking much better. So I'm going to say the Rangers, then the Devils, barely under the Rangers, then the Hurricanes still, and then Sabres and the Islanders wild card. Going over the West, I still think the Oilers are going to win the Pacific, then Vancouver, and then Vegas, just how I predicted originally. And then the Central, I think it's going to be the Stars number 1, then the Jets. I had the Jets getting a wild card too. Yeah, I think they're finishing number 2 in the Central. Number 3 in the Central, I think it's going to be Colorado. They've been in a hot streak. I think the Wild are going to eventually go down. I think the Wild are going to get the wild card number 1, and then the Predators are going to get wild card number 2. And then the Hockey Club are going out. The Blues are getting out. The Kraken are getting out. And then, obviously, the others are kind of obvious. Yeah. I just think, the Wild are off too hard of a start, and they're doing really good this side of the season. I don't think they're going to fall out. I think since the Predators had kind of a slow start, dude, I don't know. It kind of hurts because I had Predators finishing number 2, getting 100+ points, getting number 2 in the Central, and I have finishing number 2 in the wild card. We'll have to see, though. They're only 4 points outside of the wild card spot, and they're only 6 points out of being number 3 in the Central. We'll have to see. We'll give them another couple weeks, and we'll see where it's at. But yeah, we're going to finish reviewing the rest of these games, starting with the Lightning game. Lightning versus Capitals. Mitchell Traffe, second goal of the season, is by Nick Paul and Esimont. 5:27 in the second period. Then Braden Point. This time, actually even strength goal. He said, this time I'm not going to score in the power play. For the first time in what it feels like forever. This is by Nikita Kucherov, of course. 2:26 in the third period. And then Connor Geeky, first goal of the Lightning, first goal of the season. This is by Sorelli and Hagel, 3:10 in the third period. Lightning handled the Capitals as the Vasi get the 32 save shutout. Rangers barely beat the Ducks. 2-1. Dolstar made 30 saves on 32 shots against the Rangers. Jonathan Quick made 32 saves on 33 shots. Lindgren opens the scoring for the Rangers. 4:13 in the third period. This is by Lafreniere. Panarin, Will Cooley, second goal of the season. This is by Kapokako and Heathel. 11:53 into the third period. Onside winger brings it back with the 1. 12:38 into the third period. This is by Carlos Terry, but not enough for Jonathan Quick and the Rangers hold on. They get 2 points. Jets and the Flames. Jets are 8-0 now after this game. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Cal Backlund opens the scoring 28 seconds in the first period. And then Nick Ehlers ties it back up on the power play. This is by Kyle Connor and Josh Morrissey. 1:51 in the first period. Kyle Connor short-handed goal. This is by Adam Lowry and P-Link. 17:37 in the first period. 17:28 in the second period. This is by Rasmus Anderson. As they came back up for Calgary, this is by Kuzmenko. And Sandberg. The Jets to lead again. This is by P-Link and Appleton. 1:01 in the first period. Calgary ties the game back up again. This is by Kuzmenko. 4:19 in the third period. Buffetti. Power play goal. This is by Nino Niederreiter and Nomestikov. 16-16 in the period. Eventual game-winning goal. Empty net. Assisted by Appleton. Assisted by Niederreiter and Adam Lowry. 18:46 in the period. That just shows the Jets could be a team without Hellebuck. Hellebuck didn't even start that night. He didn't. Defending Vezina winner, which is best goalie in the league, and probably the leading favorite to win it again this year, is not even starting, and they still won. So yeah, that just goes out to prove something. Panthers and the Islanders. Cholowski, first goal of the season. I don't even know who that is, but he's just by Zizikis. 1:32 in the first period. And then Kyle Palmieri. This is by Polak and Topolkolov. 6:01 in the first period. And then Brock Nelson. 11:41 in the first period. This is by Topolkolov and Palmieri. They're all 3-0 at this point. Reinhardt trims it down to 2-goal deficit. This is by Lesherinen and Lundell. 13:27 in the first period. Chuck, first goal of the season since coming back. It's by Verhage. 6:38 in the second period. And then Shamuskevich, first goal of the season is by Kulikov and Spencer Knight. 18-16 in the second period ties the game. The comeback. Sam Bennett, seventh goal of the season is by Matthew Tkachuk and Mikola, 6:19 in the third period. Tkachuk adds on to that in the power play, is by Bullquist and Lundell, 9:49 third period. And short-handed goal, empty net. Short-handed empty net goal by Gustav Forsling, unassisted, 17:43 in the third period. Comeback, Cat. That saying is true today. For the three, Predators barely beat the Blue Jackets. I don't know why they cannot beat the Blackhawks. Blue Jackets, I guess, what should be easy wins by more than one goal. They have to make it complicated on themselves. Gomachenko opens the scoring. This is by Fantilli and Johnson. 3:53 in the second period. Zachary Austin Reese, second goal of the season. This is by Matthew Oliver, 6:42 in the second period. Philip Forsberg again gets it, makes it 2-1 back-to-back nights. 10:40 in the second period. Cole Smith ties it up. This is by McCarron and Shea. 26 seconds in the third period. Zacharinsky re-gives the Blue Jackets a lead. This is by Kevin LeBrink and Curley. 3:07 in the third period. 4:09 in the third period. So about a minute later, this is by Alexander Carrier. Alexander Carrier scores a goal to tie it up. This is by Lorhunic. I don't even know how to say that. I'm going to try that. Marshall Salt. Second goal of the Predators. Second goal of the season. This is by Brady Shea. 1:44 into overtime. Steal the Predators the game. I don't know why they decided to go down 2-0 in winnable games. But Dallas does not like to do that. They like to go up 2-0. Evgeny Dadonov opens the scoring. First goal of the season. This is by S.6. Lundell. 9:17 in the first period. Jamie Benn, second goal of the season. This is by Heiskin and Harley. 14:42 in the second period. Matt Duchene on the power play. This is by Stankoven and Heiskanen. 8:50 in the third period. Gives them a 3-0 lead. So unlike the Predators, they actually like to get out to leads in winnable games. So, yeah. And then Donato brings it back within 2. So by Craig Smith and Maroon. 9:34 in the third period. Goals in back-to-back games for Connor Bedard. Third goal of the season. This is by Pat Maroon and Allen. Brings it back within 1. 14:52 in the third period. And Duchene, second of the night. 6th of the season. This is empty net. So by Sagan. Was 18 seconds left in the game. So yeah, Stars handed the Blackhawks. Canucks beat the Penguins 4-3. Beauvillier opened the scoring. This is by Pedersen and Malkin. 7:48 in the first period. Brian Rust, third goal of the season. This is by Beauvillier and Malkin. 1:56 in the second period. Pedersen finally gets a goal. First goal of the season. This is by Garland and Myers. 4:06 in the second period. Kiefer Shewood, second goal of the season. This is by Bluegun Dearnaz. 4:49 in the second period. And then Besser. 5:11 in the second period. This is by Besser. And then Archie Baines, first goal of the season. This is by Sprong in 9:58 in the second period. Gunnar Malkin brings it back within 1. 13:22 in the third period. But Raquel, and Grislick, but too little too late. The Penguins and the Canucks hang on. They go like 4-game win streak, I think. Yeah, something like that. Nice blow at the Sharks, 7-3. Tanner Pearson opens the scoring. This is by William Karlsson. First game back. Get the first point of the season. This is by Holt. 1:57 in the first period. Karlsson already getting points. Jack Eichel, third goal of the season. This is by Stone and Petrangelo. 3:47 in the first period. Brett Howden. This is by Hurdle and Doriev. 16:46 in the first period. Mikhail Grunlund brings it back within 2 for the Sharks. This is by Eklund and Ferraro. 10:13 in the second period. William Karlsson, first game back, gets an assist and a goal. Short-handed goal. This is by Petrangelo. 11:10 in the second period. Doriev, power play goals. This is by Theodore and Stone. 19:26 in the second period. Nico Strum, unassisted. 19:41 in the second period. Stone, fourth goal of the season. This is by Eichel and Babashev. 11:10 in the third period. Luke Cunnin, second goal of the season. This is by Zetterlund. 13:26 in the third period. And Brett Howden. This is by Doriev and Hurdle. 17:07 in the third period. Sharks get blown out by the Knights in Vegas. Hurricane versus the Kraken. Kraken don't even get 20 shots on goal. Compared to Hurricanes, get almost 40. Stechikov on the power play, second of the season. This is by Nishis and Seth Jarvis. 4:25 in the first period. Dury, first goal of the season, assisted by Jackson Blake and Brent Burns. 16:49 in the second period. And McCann, fifth goal of the season. This is by Bandy Beniers. 10:21 in the third period. Seth Jarvis gives Hurricanes back a multi-goal lead. It's by Martin Slavin. 15:38 in the third period. And 18:24 in the third period. Bench Orloff empty net goal unassisted. Hurricanes take a 4-1 win handily over the Hurricanes. that's going to do it for today's podcast episode. This is almost an hour and 15 minutes long. Ridiculously long podcast episode, I'm not going to lie. It's very fun. It's like 41 or 42 minutes of NHL. Your USHL, well, then about another 30 minutes of NHL. You know what I said? We're going to yap about the NHL for 30 minutes. I wasn't wrong. Anyways. So yeah, that's going to do it for today's podcast episode. Like this video if you haven't already. It'll help me. Subscribe if you haven't already. Both will be greatly appreciated. Continue to watch this podcast. Join the Discord, the Intermission Podcast blog. Follow my Facebook, the Intermission Podcast blog as well. Follow my X, it's also the Intermission Podcast blog. Go to my Wix.com page. It's called the USHL Kid. USHLKid.com. Just search that up in your Google Chrome, Safari, whatever you use. And then, yeah. Post notifications if you can, but if you don't worry about it. If you can't, don't worry about it. Have a great night. Have a great sleep. And then have a great rest of your day if it's the next day or whatever day. Have a good sleep. Have a good rest of your night. Have a good day tomorrow. Whenever it is. Whenever you're watching this, have a good day. Peace out.